time for hero night. This is the time to fight. The heart is powerful, eagles fading. It's time for hero night. The moment feels so right. The victory is dead for the taking. Heat on the ice.
A beautiful location to take in a sporting event the weekend before Super Bowl weekend. We are in Switzerland for FIBT Bobsled on Speed. It is the two-man competition up first here on the program. And here is a look at some of the top contenders.
The favorites, Pierre Lueders, Martin Annan, Todd Hayes, Andre Lange. Hayes is the World Cup points leader in two-man bobsledding. Only been off the podium once. Pierre Lueders, he won double gold last week in Königssee, Germany. Doesn't happen too often for the North American. And here's Martin Annan. He's fifth in World Cup points. Other than that crash in Lake Placid, he'd be challenging for the top. Andre Lange wasn't around last weekend at Königssee. He returns. And watch out for him.
And they are the men that sit atop the World Cup standings with just 2 races remaining. It's Hayes on top of the leaderboard. The North Americans sit 1-2 in the standings. And another American, Stephen Holcomb, sitting in 7th place. We welcome you to the most famous place in the world in the sport of bobsledding. Hi everyone, Tim Singer along with John Morgan, a giant in the sport of bobsledding. But John, even in your competing days, you were no match for this curve.
This curve is the most famous hairpin curve on the planet in our sport of bobsledding. It's the signature curve. It's called horseshoe. And believe me, you have to be lucky to get through this curve. Not only get through it, but then to get through it with speed.
All right, ahead we've got the two-man competition, and later on in the program, the four-man event. But let's take a closer look at this track in San Moritz. It is by far the longest in the world. So long it goes from the town of San Moritz all the way down to Celerina. It's a natural track, the only one remaining in the world right now. John gives us a ride down this San Moritz track.
Well, let's talk about some historical perspective. St. Moritz Bobsleigh Club, 1897 it was formed. You can see that from the sticker. There's a speed trap here on the exit of curve 1. You want to be really quiet in the sled around curve 1 to accelerate and have good speed. Now this long straightaway, it's called wall, and this is where you really start to pick it up. It starts dropping off here to the left, and you get into a 2-corner combination called the snake. What Talladega and Daytona are referred to as super speedways in NASCAR, this place is a super speedway of bobsledding. It's the fastest track on the planet, even though it's a natural ice surface. Nash and Dixon, named after the 2 British gentlemen who won the gold medal to 64 games. And now, horseshoe, 4 G's of force, slingshot effect on the bottom, speed trap here. You gotta have the speed, no chance. Now look at the names. Like this track's over 100 years old, these names have been on these same curves for over 100 years. What tradition? But look at the speed. Upwards of 85 miles an hour for 2- and 4-man bobsleds. Leaped out of this big speed trap here into the finish. Another 4 G's of force into the Martin O'Connor, named after the guy who founded the St. Moritz Bobsled Club. Fast is one thing, the tradition here is another.
Not only fast, but furious and fun to watch. FIBT World Cup Bobsleigh continues with the start of the two-man competition next on Speed.
We make 18 award-winning styles of Samuel Adams. Which is your favorite?
I like the lager the best.
That's still my favorite, too. The cream stout? I like the dark beers.
Sam White is my drink.
Boston Ale. I think that it's the best ale that's out in the market.
Black lager. It's just really smooth. I like the Sam Seasonal, regardless of the season.
Which way is? I didn't know there were 18. I've probably tried 7 or 8, so I got some work to do.
Hey guys, you know Valentine's Day is right around the corner. I hope you're not thinking about giving her the same old, same old. Don't panic. Here are 3 words you need to remember. Vermont teddy bear. Picture this. You Bear Graham her at home or the office with one of the many love bears, and when it arrives, well, you can almost hear it now.
He is so adorable. So much bigger than I thought.
I know. Oh, I sent you this love bandit to steal your heart because you've stolen mine.
Where can I get a guy like that?
Guys, if you want a great response to your Valentine's Day gift, Call now or do it online at VermontTeddyBear.com. Come on, guys, for about the price of a dozen roses, a Vermont teddy bear keeps giving and giving. They're handmade in Vermont and guaranteed for life. Take it from me, this is not your average bear. Order now and have a Vermont teddy bear delivered to her home or office right on Valentine's Day. It's a sure thing.
Introducing the all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe with available features like a power remote liftgate, power release fold and tumble second row seats, and rear view camera system. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
It's time for heat on ice. This is the time to fight. The hottest part for me was waiting. Heat on the ice.
Thousands are expected to take in the bobsled excitement today in San Moritz. Our program on speed is being brought to you by Chevrolet. Chevrolet is proud to be a sponsor to the United States Olympic team. John, earlier today, the first heat of the two-man.
Steve Holcomb and Randy Jones disqualified, narrow runners. We'll get into that later. But here, USA number 2, John Napier, TJ Burns. They had some problem at the start. It's Napier's first event in Europe. But his teammate Todd Hayes in the Bodine sled with Brock Kreuzenberg, only 0.05 of a second out of first place. That tells you how tight things are. Ivo Rug, local Swiss, Cedric Grand, they're tied for first. Good ride down the track for them. Who are they tied with? Well, we've seen this act before. Pierre Luters of Canada won the double gold last week with Lascelles Brown in Koenigsegg, Germany. Luters is flying down the track.
So Pierre Luters, the 1998 Olympic champion and two-man, right in top of form heading to the next games. He's tied with the Swiss. The Americans sit in 4th place as we check out the rest of the top 10. They will run in reverse order. In run number 2, Frank, Schulze, and Saravia, the jury for today's competition. And as you see, at the outset of the day, there were 31 sleds from 14 different nations. Now only the best remain.
Зубков Александр, Брас Иркутск, Россия. Это моя команда.
Дмитрий Степушкин. 7th at the end of the first place. There's our leaders, the Austrians at the bottom. Stompfler had a good run. He's moved up 5 places. And Zubkov has been in a little bit of a slump. Started off the season gangbusters, picked up where he left off from last year when he won the World Cup 4-man title, but a couple injuries, a couple lackadaisical performances, and Zubkov doesn't seem to be what he was when we saw him in Lake Placid.
Well, and speaking with someone just last night at dinner, they pointed to their head to mean mental. It's all mental right now. And perhaps the pressure is heavy on him approaching the Olympics.
2,700ths lead on that green clock. Nash and Dixon. Here's the slingshot effect, the most famous curve in the world, horseshoe. And out of there, you just gotta fly. But he's minus 27, down to minus 15. That's not a good sign. That means he had some acceleration, steering issues up at the top of the track. Now it's down to minus 5, continues to lose more time. Speed on the left side, going to be extremely important.
As always, this is a 2-heat combined time competition. They add on the second heat on top of the first, and around the finish curve, Russia number 3 does not take the lead.
And there's the time, 6th best time of the heat.
So Wolfgang Stumper of Austria moves up 1 more spot.
And Zubkov can only reflect to what has happened to my season.
Well, when we return, the top American team, Hayes and Kreutzberg, are up next.
Who's up next? Give me that pink slip.
You have lost your vehicle.
One last final race.
This is the first time this has ever happened on pink.
I didn't say that. I said stop the race.
Let's race.
Let's do it.
You agreed to it. Line the car up.
Pigs lose
the race, lose your ride. Season 2 premieres this February, only on Speed.
No one ever woke up one morning and said, I just want to be an ordinary musician, or an ordinary tennis player, or writer, or runner. No one ever said, I just want to be an ordinary coach, or even an ordinary scientist. So why the heck would anyone ever say, I just want to be an ordinary investor? At E-Trade Financial, we keep challenging the ordinary to help investors be extraordinary.
Would you like to lower your mortgage payments up to 35%?
I could reduce my monthly payments? Tell me how.
Introducing Smart Choice, the home loan exclusively from Quicken Loans. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing, Smart Choice is the answer. Here's an example. A traditional 30-year loan for $200,000 at 7% interest would be $1,330 a month. But with Smart Choice, that same loan would be an amazingly low $850 a month. That's a difference of over $5,700 a year.
That's good news. So what are we waiting for?
Call toll-free now and see how you can lower your monthly payments up to 35%. The Smart Choice Loan. It's great for refinancing or for purchasing that new home. You get monthly payment flexibility, so you can decide to pay just interest or make payments to principal whenever you want. Call this toll-free number now or go to quickenloans.com to get started and lower your mortgage payments up to 35%. But don't wait. Take advantage today while rates are still low.
Welcome back to San Moritz, Switzerland. Tim Singer along with John Morgan as we check out the conditions. A warm day in the Swiss Alps, 34 degrees Fahrenheit. Believe me, the track is still fast.
André Lange, Suhl, Deutschland. Das sind meine Bremser.
Kevin Kuska.
Well, Kuska, we haven't seen him since the Lake Placid event. He hasn't been around in 3 events. He's been training on the push track at Oberhof.
Big guy, 26-year-old Kuska on the back there, 225 pounds.
And look at the runner tips there. That's going to be a lot of issues coming around that curve 1. So unlike any other track. Here's Kuska, good technique. Look at the speed after curve 1. There's a 50-meter start time, and then there's the 100-meter speed time. Believe me, you'd want to get in the sled, get around that first curve, and have the better speed. A lot of time is lost up there at the exit of that curve 1.
And unlike other tracks, John, we've seen sleds in San Moritz have maybe not perfect starts, but accelerate down here at the bottom.
Well, last week at Koenigsegg was a 49-second finish time. Here it's a minute 8, minute 9, minute 7, minute 6. Depends if it's woman's bob, 2-man bob, or 4-man bob, so it's like 15, 20 seconds longer. So you could have a deficient start time, make it up on the bottom, and boy, is he flying. Second, almost a full second. 139 kilometers, anything around there.
He had a couple of bumps, but he has extended that lead to an even second. An eternity in bobsledding.
Had a couple bumps, but still, look at that. Track record, full second lead. And Wolfgang Hoppe, the coach, looks on. Andre Lange just threw down a really fast trip, and he goes to the leader's box.
1 minute, 6.17 seconds.
5 more sleds to go, but that is some kind of good heat. We'll see how well it holds up. And here's where it's, the horseshoe halfway point on the course. Look at these pictures. You want to accelerate out of here, and he hit it perfectly. Look at the speed. He's 1.5 kilometers better than anybody else. And in a sport of hundreds of seconds, that's a lot.
Well, there's a look at the Bodine sled, which the Americans are about to hop into. And now on Speed, it is time for our Bodine bobsled moment as John talks about a very special event coming up next weekend.
I'm going to have a bobsled race in Lake Placid and get a few of my NASCAR buddies involved as a fundraiser for the Bodine Bobsled Project.
Bodine built 10 IROC type sleds, brought them to Lake Placid and tested them in November. And now the first annual Chevrolet Jeff Bodine Bobsled Challenge. He's got a bunch of his buddies coming up to the historic track in Lake Placid, and what an event it was. Kevin LePage, Joel Kaufman, Brad Knopfsinger, Stanton Barrett, Todd Bodine, Boris Said, Steve Park, Tim Fedewa, and the legendary Dick Trickle. Dick Trickle had a little problem with a couple of his runs down the track. This wasn't a fast line, and they also had a big fundraising auction at night, raised a lot of money, and entertainment by Cowboy Crush. Check the program out February 4th, 2 to 4 p.m. on Speed. For more information, BodineBobsled.com.
Todd Hayes, Del Rio, Texas, United States. This is my brakeman.
Brock Kreitzberg.
And Kreitzberg, a new addition to the Hayes two-man sled this week. And as we saw earlier, John, they had problems right here in run number 1.
A lot of problems in one, and they did it again, and the push bar's still out, and he's got a skid going. Hayes on the super speedway, like Talladega and Daytona, St. Moritz is a super speedway. Great speed in the bottom part of the track, but with a mistake like this, it's tough. And he's got only 1500s to play with off Andre Lange. And you can see Lange had much better speed at that 100-meter mark.
As a child, Hayes had 2 dreams. One, to play in the NFL. Didn't make that, although he played college football. His second dream was to be an Olympian. He is an Olympic silver medalist heading to his second games.
Not a good exit of Horseshoe, 2200s down. That's relative to that start mishap up at curve 1. And the Bodine sled is now 3700s down. Not a good heat for Todd Hayes. Now it's a question of how many places is he going to fall.
The Germans had a great run just before, half second back at that split.
Wow, Hayes didn't have a very good run. Lange had an unbelievable run, and there it is, third best time of the heat. Hayes drops 1 spot. He's second overall behind Lange, but his problems were down the track. It was up there.
And you see the
exit
two.
Of curve 1.
Team manager Lenny Kasten flashes the 2 fingers. Actually, that was Brian Scheimer. And it will be a top 5 for Hayes, but anything short of a medal is not sufficient
Plus
to him.
the exit of Horseshoe, watch down the left side. He comes a little high there. Now he's got to make a steering adjustment. Now watch where the sled is. It's on the wrong side. It should be right in the middle. He bumped there. No kind of speed, 2 kilometers down at that point.
Well, the top 3 sleds remain here in the 2-man competition, including last week's double winner, Canada's Pierre Lueders.
Wednesday night on Speed. First, Pinks.
Here I am, buddy. Let's race. Do I look worried?
Then, Unique Whips.
You know what I'm saying? Unique style.
Followed by Build or Bust.
I can do this.
Begins Wednesday night, 8 Eastern, only on Speed.
Look at this. It's awesome. And I love being a trader. Living for the moment, baby.
Is that all we're about? I mean, I love being a trader, but I also have an investing side. Like, I want to open a B&B.
B&B?
Time to embrace your investing side. At Ameritrade, you'll find products and services to help you plan and invest for your goals.
I have been thinking about opening a dance school. Let's see some moves.
Open your IRA today and get 15 free trades plus Microsoft Money 2006 Deluxe.
If you or a loved one was diagnosed with mesothelioma, call the number on your screen now. Mesothelioma is a rare cancer linked to asbestos exposure. Exposure to asbestos in mills, shipyards, or in the heating, construction, and automotive industries may have put you at risk. Even people close to you could develop mesothelioma due to secondhand exposure. Please don't wait. Call now at 1-800-604-9750. That's 1-800-604-9750.
Introducing the all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe, with available features like a power remote liftgate, power release fold and tumble second row seats, and rear view camera system. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
It's time for heat on ice. This is the time to fight. The spot for me was waiting. Heat on the ice.
Switzerland's home track hero is up next here in St. Moritz.
Anne Martin, Art Schweiz. Und das sind meine Bremsen.
Beat Hefti.
Oh, their thing is the start time. And the competition is so close.
They have a 1600s lead. Look at that, them in the bathtub there on the left, having a bit of fun in a different type of vehicle. 1600s up on Lange after run number 1. He's always tough here at the top.
Oh, little bit of a skid there. I don't know how much that's going to cost him. He's only 300ths out of first place. Andre Lange, Kevin Kuska on the left. Martin Annan beat Hefty on the right. Two of the best start teams in the world. Who gets in first? Looks like the Germans are settled in quicker.
Such a fine line at this first 50 meters and when you load that sled. Martin Annan is as Swiss as you can be when he's not bobsledding. John, he's a cheese maker.
Well, he just drove like he's a cheesemaker there. He was skidding before Nash Dixon. And listen to the crowd on hand, and he was high there in Horseshoe, and he's gone from -15 to +4. So that skid up above Nash Dixon was a real issue. And now the question is, can he gain it on the bottom? He's now 2/10 down.
Well, we're getting a good indication of just how good that run was by Andre Lange of Germany. Everyone falling off the pace.
Down by 3,500ths. Now the question is he going to fall behind USA's Todd Hayes? And into the finish, Lange looks on it, he's done it again. Lange has moved up
And
another
really,
spot.
and John, it hasn't been close.
Lange has moved up 3 spots. He's guaranteed himself at least a bronze medal. And it's pretty quiet on the track. Those Swiss fans and the bells have gone quiet.
Oh, this event doubles as the European Championships. Next up from Canada, Pierre Lueders and his brakeman, LaSalle Brown, a former Jamaican, still awaiting his Canadian citizenship.
Like I told a lot of guys asking me, a lot of reporters, the papers is in, you know, we're doing the necessary stuff, so I just have to like sit and wait.
Are you waiting nervously?
I try not to really think about it so that it affect, you know, my sliding, because all I want to do is compete for Canada.
Pierre Lueders, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This is my brakeman,
LaSalle Brown.
And John, we'll keep on top of that story, but one thing we know is if Lueders loses Brown, he loses a big chance at an Olympic medal.
Well, he knows he needs Brown to have that start time 5. Look at that. Whoa, there's some mistakes there. Those runners, left to right, he got in there and panicked. Didn't panic, but he had the bad line. Watch the runner tips here and look at the speed. He's 0.4 of a kilometer down, and that's not a good sign. And watch the runner tips here. He got into the wrong side of that curve. That doesn't look like much, but trust me, that is a lot.
1900ths, John, was
not
his
anymore.
lead before the run, and he's already off the
+3
pace.
down. So everybody is making the mistake, and Lange is at the bottom, 6th place into the first heat. He can do no worse than a bronze, and at this pace, he could win a silver. There's a skid there too. So Lueders, who won double gold last week, and now he's fallen off the pace.
So we are again getting such an indication of just how perfect that German run was several sleds ago. No one has come close to Lange. Not only are they falling behind him, they're falling way behind him.
Now they look on, they moved up 1 more spot, so they got a silver medal. And Lueders drops back 2 places, 4,700ths off the pace.
Unbelievable.
That is a mistake at curve 1. The cuff skid around Sonny, skid down there into the nameless curve. And I bet you he's not a happy guy.
Either Lange had a great run or the track picked a funny time to slow down on everyone.
No, this was all about mistakes at the start. Speed, look at the speed difference. Lange, almost a full kilometer better than Lueders on the speed part of the track.
Final sled in the 2-man coming up tied for first after run number 1.
Zurich, Ducke, Schweiz. Und das ist mein Anschieber.
Obviously, they know the track. Not as strong a starting team as their teammates Annan and Lange of Germany. But if they're even remotely clean, John, they'll have a good chance.
They got a 2/10 lead. Look at this. Look at his position. Look at the runner tips.
Not
Same
bad.
thing Lueders did.
No banging, though.
But those runner tips going back and forth, that's friction across the ice. And we'll see at the next clock how much that costs them. Look at that. That is not what you want to do on the exit of curve 1 here. Now, right off the bat, in the next, look at the speed. He's still got decent speed. He had a better start than Lange.
This is where he does well, 1900ths. So it's looking good for the Swiss on his home track.
19 to 19. Now, if he has a good exit here of Horseshoe, he should carry the speed in the bottom part of the track, which is crucial. Down to 12. He's lost some time back. But everybody's been losing time to Lange down here. And Ivo Rug, who's never won a gold medal, in World Cup bobsledding. He's lost more time. It's +2. But with that type of speed on the bottom, anything around 140 kilometers, he could come back and beat Lange.
10, back 10 now, 10 hundredths, a tenth of a second. It's going to be tight, but it's not working in the Swiss favor right now. No, 11 hundredths back, so Andre Lange and Kevin Kuska, Germany, number 3, move up 6 spots in the final run to capture the gold medal here in San Moritz. 2nd place to the Swiss, 5th place for USA.
Wow, guy came from 6th place to 1st. Doesn't happen too often in World Cup bobsledding. Here's our final results. Lange, Rug, Annan. Pierre Lueders and Todd Hayes not in the medals today. And here's our World Cup standings. Hayes still the leader. Lueders right behind him. Lange is lurking. And most of these athletes, almost all of them, you're going to see at the Torino Winter Olympic Games. It's about World Cup standings. Stephen Holcomb, 12th place. Let's go down to Tim Singer.
Thanks, John. And Todd, you were just saying it was a tough day all around. Take us through that second run.
We're not real good at the start. Hit the push bar about 5 times. It didn't come in, so went ahead and fought it all the way down the straightaway, which kills your velocity even worse. And then after that, it was just not a very good trip.
How much does that concern you at this point in the season?
Not one bit. I'm concerned about the Olympic Games and trying to get better and trying to learn some things. Trying out different brakemen, trying out different runners, different setups. Didn't work out today, but this really doesn't mean anything to me.
Well, we've had a great 2-man competition from St. Moritz, but now we're coming up is the 4-man, the big sleds. Stay with us on Speed.
It's about talent.
And he wins it!
Sportsmanship.
Bobby Allison and his son in second.
And fame. Speed Driver of the Year. Only the best earn the title. Log on to speedtv.com now and cast your vote for Speed's Driver of the Year.
Stirring things up. Introducing the new Cayman S at your dealer now. Porsche. There is no substitute.
Attention, men with thinning hair. These actual photos demonstrate the effectiveness of a brand new breakthrough product called Proceed. And now, Proceed is finally available to the public, absolutely risk-free. Call now and find out how you can get a free 3-month supply of powerful new Proceed. Not a daily regimen, Proceed is a breakthrough product you use only once every 90 days. Proceed's unique patent-pending formula is unlike all other products. These actual photos illustrate the results that may be seen after just one application.
I've tried everything, from vitamins to shampoos, but nothing worked for me. Then I found Proceed.
With my busy schedule, who has time for daily regimens? I bet you can't tell I have thinning hair. This is real, folks.
With Proceed, there's new hope in the fight to improve the appearance of your thinning hair. If you're one of the millions of men with thinning hair, call now and find out how you can get a free 3-month supply of powerful new Proceed. Proceed. We're the one. Just one application every 90 days.
Switzerland is the destination to the rich, the famous, and the dignitaries, including the Russian Minister of Sport, Vyacheslav Fedosov, who is on hand trying to promote his nation's bid for the Olympic Games.
Yeah, we came here just to be part of the one of the most excited sport before the Olympic Games, to feel the atmosphere. And the most important thing, we take a look, one of the fastest track in the world. And you want to build one in Moscow, or no, in Moscow, in Russia, in the Sochi area. We're beating for the Olympic Games 2014.
The former Olympic hockey player also loves his bobsled.
Unbelievable feeling, and when you take a look at this on the TV all the time, and you're wondering how it's going to be inside. I cannot compare to anything else and what have been done before.
Certainly can't compare to being captain of the 1980 Olympic hockey team, which lost that famous game to the United States. Well, it's time here in San Moritz for the 4-man competition. This should be an exciting one as well. And John, the first heat was just that.
Four-man bobsledding, super speedway. Andre Lange won the two-man event, but he's in 5th place, way back like he was in a two-man event. He went 6th to 1st in the two-man. Can he do it today? We're going to find out. He's lurking around a medal. Martin Annan of Switzerland, bronze medal in the two-man. Big time starts. He's only 1600s back. 4th place. You can always expect him to challenge. And Pierre Lueders of Canada just missed a medal in the two-man. He was the leader at the end of the first run, had some problems, but he's flying, only 1200s off to gold. Alexander Zubkov from Russia. Big Russian group of people on hand to cheer him on, and he's only 300s out of the gold medal position, owned by Todd Hayes. And Team Todd Hayes, little problem at the start, but still carried the best speed bottom part of the track. And Hayes was the leader at the end of the first run.
So Hayes starting late in the run, it worked off. He has that lead by 300ths over Zubkov, then Lueders, Annan, and Lange. And you look at the back 5, you have Minnis, Spies, Bertazzo Rueg, and American Steve Holcomb. And Holcomb will start things off here in run number 2. He had that problem in the two-man. He was disqualified.
Steve Holcomb, Park City, Utah, USA. This is my team. Kurt Tomasevich.
Randy Jones. Lorenzo Smith.
Holcomb spoke about the disqualification.
Pretty disheartening, and it really put a hamper on things yesterday. I was pretty bummed. I've been running real well in two-man, and to come out and get disqualified before I even got a chance to show my stuff was pretty upsetting. But you know, came out today in the four-man and stepped it back up, so I was pretty happy with that.
Had unbelievable speed. He tied Todd Hayes for the best speed in the first heat in the bottom part of the track, but his nemesis is the start. 3rd best start so far, 5:33. But when you get down to it, you're going to see teams with the teens, low teens. But Holcomb has been really improving
down the track
the whole season.
Kurt Tomasevich on the sled, the youngest member of the U.S. Olympic bobsled team at 25. And then you have Elias Smith and Jones joining the party. Good team, good mix.
Lorenzo Smith, graduate of West Point. Of course, Randy Jones, Olympian in 90.
And the oldest member of the team, a skid up there, though.
Bang. Now, exit of Horseshoe. This is where it all starts to happen. He's 700s down. But this is where the Bodine sleds really, really fly. High speed. Aerodynamics of this NASCAR technology type piece of equipment. And watch, +7. He had big speed in the first run. Now, look at this.
145.
No one else has come close to that. And this is what the Bodine sleds do. If every track had a high speed over a second like St. Moritz, the Bodine sleds would really be superior. That was another example.
So 2:11.30 for the 2 runs, and we take it to break with American women's driver Jean Prom singing our theme song.
It's time for Heat on Ice. This is the time to fight. I tell you, I'm no longer waiting. Heat on the ice.
Tuesday night on Speed. First, Two-Wheel Tuesday.
This show is packed.
Then, Texas Hardtails, followed by Corbin's Ride On.
Well, that's about as much fun as you can have with your clothes on.
Then, Beat Twin Motorcycle TV. And later, the Motocross Files. It all begins Tuesday night, 8 Eastern on Speed.
Now through January 31st, get $2,000 in total savings on the Forester Premium Package.
A Dell Media Center PC is an exciting way to bring all your favorite pictures, music, and movies together in one place. It's easy to organize and share photos with family and friends, create slideshows, and print beautiful pictures. You can also listen to, organize, and archive your favorite music, or take it on the road with a Dell MP3 player. Or bring your movies to life on a crystal clear, award-winning Dell LCD monitor. Dell Media Center PCs give you the entertainment experience you want from your PC. Call now and get an awesome Dell Dimension E510 with Windows XP Media Center Edition for just $599. You'll also get a free printer and free shipping if you order online. And ask how Dell On Call can help you get the most out of your PC experience. A Dell Media Center PC. It's more than a PC that does it all. It's a Dell.
It's time for heat on ice. This is the time to fight. The hottest part for me was waiting. Heat on the ice.
Up next in Switzerland, it's Swiss sled number 1.
Ich bin Ivo Rüegg, Ducke, Schweiz und das ist meine Mannschaft. Andreas Geis, Roman Hanschin, Christian Able.
Hanschen and Obley, veterans of the Olympic Games. Rüegg, of course, had that tie for first place after the two-man competition, only to see it disappear.
Second place in the two-man. Four-man doesn't have the same feel. 5:24 start.
Now they have a 0.07 of a second lead over the Americans, who have the lead right now at the bottom.
Big Swiss crowd on hand to watch their home country guys compete, and great passion for the sport here in St. Moritz.
Great history, as you mentioned earlier, John, and you were around for the 100 years of bobsled celebration here several years ago.
Seems like they celebrated every year we came in the 90s, and I enjoyed every year of it. And now Rüegg is trying to find a place to put himself on top of the leaderboard, and he's flying. 2700ths on the Exeter Horseshoe. Now, Nameless, Tree, Bridge, lost some time back. And the Bodine sled at the bottom part of the track was superior. And Rüegg is going to need 144 kilometers.
He's got it. Nice speed down at the bottom. He doesn't have that speed, but he has the advantage.
He's
Probably enough.
Time away, and it's 600s.
200 more meters of track, maybe only 20 more meters of track, and the Americans would have held on.
Yeah. Superior speed by the Bodine sled on the bottom, but the start time up top, he got beat by 1400s at the start in 2 heats and only 6 at the bottom. So any kind of start improvement, Holcomb would be challenging for a medal. Look at the horseshoe pictures here. TV doesn't do it justice what this curve looks like live. Look at the speed. Holcomb right there, number 2 in speed so far, but Rüegg, he goes to the winner's box.
First of 2 from Germany up next.
René Spieß, Winterberg, Germany. Das sind meine Anschieber. Christoph Heider. Enrico Kühn, Alexander Metzger.
Spieß had a bronze medal last week in the four-man competition in Germany. He had been in a big battle with his teammate Matthias Hefner to gain the last German spot on the Olympic team, although I've just been told all 3 drivers, those 2 and Andre Lange, will represent Germany at the Olympics.
It's a great for both of them. I didn't want to see either one of these guys lift off the team. Hofner didn't have a very good competition here at St. Moritz at all. But he's had a great World Cup season, winning the two-man Cortina event, silver medal in Koenigsegg.
And Spieß has been plugging away for years and years and years.
Toiling, but he didn't finish in the medals in Salt Lake. And I wouldn't think he's going to continue after this. Here's the in sync. Who gets in first? Who settles quickly before that first curve? Pretty much the same.
If that sled is not settled by this point.
And then you get that little skid. That's not what you want to do. It's like putting your foot on the brakes. It slows you down. It's friction.
Well, already with that, despite that bump, not counting it, they were 2/10 back at the last split here through Horseshoe, and they hold on. So as you like to say, John, they may have stopped the bleeding.
Still got plenty of track, high speed in the bottom. If he gets 144 kilometers like the American sled had, he's got a chance. He's got it down to plus 13. Now, the aerodynamics at 85 plus miles an hour takes effect. 144.8 plus 9.
Plus 9, so it's moving in his direction. Does he have enough track? No. By 300ths of a second, the Swiss move up a spot. The Germans move back a spot.
And I think the Swiss told us with the way they yelled how they appreciated René Spieß not matching their time.
Andre Lange, Suhl, Deutschland. Das ist mein Team. Danny Hopper,
Kevin Kuske, Martin Putzer.
5th place after run number 1, but we saw yesterday, John, what he did from 7th place in the 2-man competition earlier in this program.
6th place to first. You never see it. He was some kind of second heat. He threw down, and here he goes. Great starts. What a great start. Look how quickly they're in. Similar skid, though, as Spieth. 5:20 start. 2 bumps there. 1 late as well. That isn't what you want to do, but he's got the best start speed. That's 50-meter time, and then there's the 100-meter speed. If you have a choice of the two, trust me, you want the 100-meter speed. Minus 37. That's a lot. 4-man's tough to get into trouble, but once they get into trouble, and you could do it right here in Horseshoe.
You take a good look at this track, and it is starting to get eaten up a little bit.
Minus 37 to minus 37. That means he's not accelerating away. If he's into the 20s here, no, now he is. Now he's online. And these FES Berlin sleds have similar aerodynamic shape as the Bodine sleds. On the bottom part of the track, the difference is they don't get the same speed. Steve Holcomb had 2 kilometers of better speed on the bottom, but
incredible.
This is enough. Track
Think
record.
about that. A track record here by the German sled. Holcomb a mile and an hour faster, but he's back 5-6 places now.
But he's 1,300 slower at the start.
Right.
That's 40 hundredths right there.
That'll
all
make the
things
difference.
being equal.
Well, when we return, we will see our top sleds as we check out the replay of this track record run. Pierre Lueders and crew of Canada coming up next.
You own your own business, and today, you're expecting a package. The thing is, you're going to be at every address in town, except your own.
Don't you worry about a thing.
All you need is a mailbox at the UPS store. We'll sign for your packages, receive your mail, and keep it secure until you can pick it up. And your business gets a real street address. So when it comes to your mail, let the UPS store worry about it. That's our thing.
Don't you worry about a thing.
The UPS store, the place for mailbox services and a whole lot more.
Hey guys, you know Valentine's Day is right around the corner. I hope you're not thinking about giving her the same old, same old. Don't panic. Here are 3 words you need to remember. Vermont Teddy Bear. Picture this. You Bear Graham her at home or the office with one of the many love bears, and when it arrives, well, you can almost hear it now.
He is so adorable. So much bigger than I thought.
I know. Oh, I sent you this love bandit to steal your heart because you've stolen mine.
Where can I get a guy like that?
Guys, if you want a great response to your Valentine's Day gift, call now or do it online at VermontTeddyBear.com. Come on, guys, for about the price of a dozen roses, a Vermont teddy bear keeps giving and giving. They're handmade in Vermont and guaranteed for life. Take it from me, this is not your average bear. Order now and have a Vermont teddy bear delivered to her home or office right on Valentine's Day. It's a sure thing.
Introducing the all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe with available features like a power remote liftgate, power release fold and tumble second row seats, and rear view camera system. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
Back here in San Moritz, where the other night some legends in the sport of bobsledding came to town to take part in a Legends race. The field included a former Olympian and current ruler of Monaco.
It's a great thrill. It's still a great thrill. You know that in about 3 weeks, it'll be 20 years since my first drive down a bobsled. I'm right here in St. Moritz, so it's a very special year, and it's great to be back.
The field for the race included 6 Olympic medalists, 4 of them gold medal winners. Christian Reich won the race, but really that was secondary. These guys were here for camaraderie and the passion of the sport.
Anne Martin, Hart, Schweiz. Und das ist meine Mannschaft, Thomas Lamparter. Beat Heftig, Silber.
Listen to the bells. There's a lot of Martin Annan fan club here.
4th place after the first run. They have a 1/10 of a second advantage over the Germans, but we have seen Lange destroy the subsequent sleds after that.
Record 5:13 start, little skid there. You just don't understand how these 4 Swiss athletes get these type of start times, but they do it consistently. But
paid the price for
bang,
for
look at
going
the
too hard.
ice spray. That's pretty hard there. We'll see how much that reflects. Now, he had a 10/100ths lead, and he had a 7/100ths better start, and he's only 17/100ths better at that point right there.
Look at this crowd.
No more mistakes allowed. Right here, horseshoe, slingshot effect on the bottom. 17 down to 15. We'll see what type of exit of horseshoe he had on the next clock. If he's a better than 15, it was good. Minus
800. So could Longa be doing it again in the 4-man?
And this is for the European Championship. This is a big deal for Anand. He's never won the European Championship. It's down to 6. He's got better speed than Longa.
Just clinging on. It'll be very, very close. 600s. So Switzerland number 3, Martin Anand take the lead over the Germans. The Germans will not win the European Championship. It will either be this Swiss sled or the Russian who comes up in a moment.
Well, he lost time all the way down, but at the bottom part of the track in the speed trap, he maintained it.
Next up, Canada with the fast sled and crew.
This sled here was rebuilt by Christian Reich, and certain tracks it really flies. This one, Königssee, Shazana, we hope. So, you know, I'm pretty happy. It's been a long time in my career to have finally a good 4-man, good runners, and a good team.
Let's go! Pierre Luters, Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. This is my team.
Ken Kotick. Florian Linder.
Lascelles Brown.
And John, as promised, overnight we did get an update on Lascelles Brown, the former Jamaican, now Canadian.
Yeah, he's going to get a passport, and he will represent Canada at the Olympic Games, which I'm sure makes Pierre Luters pretty happy.
A pretty happy contender.
Florian Linder's riding number 3 today in replace of Morgan-Alexander. And see if they all get down.
Not bad.
Not a bad little light
Little
tap,
bump, but no change of direction.
but plus 11. That's relative to the start time where Luters was up that much down at the start. Now let's see if he can make this Reich sled go fast on the exit of horseshoe.
Excellent, excellent, very clean, but 400's back now.
But plus 11 now to plus 4, that means he's picking up speed, and the next clock will tell it all. How good of an exit of horseshoe, and he must have had a good one, because now it's minus 8.
You mentioned the slingshot effect, John. This is a perfect example.
And on the bottom part of the track, the speed of the left, 144.8, best speed so far. Pierre Luters will win a medal here today.
So around the finish, Canada with a track record, the first this season to go under 1 minute 5 seconds. Pierre Luters and crew take over the lead, at least a bronze medal here in San Moritz.
Look how excited Luters is. Look at Gerd Grumer, his coach, loving it. And Luters double gold medal last week at Königssee. And you talk about somebody coming on, and Torino is right around the corner.
2 sleds remain, including the Americans, Hayes, Jovanovic, Messler, and Kreitzberg.
Who's up next? Give me that pink slip.
You have lost your vehicle. One last final race. This is the first time this has ever happened on Pigs. Let's race.
Let's do it. Pigs Season 2 premieres this February only on Speed.
Out here, I can take on anything. Any car, any driver, any track.
Peak Global Lifetime Antifreeze can protect any engine in any make, any model, anytime. It's the only antifreeze backed by a lifetime guarantee. Just flush it, fill it, and forget it.
I'm tough enough to take on anything and fast enough to get away with it.
Get the only antifreeze that's guaranteed for life. Peak Global Lifetime.
When you peak, you win.
Would you like to lower your mortgage payments up to 35%?
I could reduce my monthly payments? Tell me how.
Introducing Smart Choice, the home loan exclusively from Quicken Loans. Whether you're buying a new home or refinancing, Smart Choice is the answer. Here's an example. A traditional 30-year loan for $200,000 at 7% interest would be $1,330 a month. But with Smart Choice, that same loan would be an amazingly low $850 a month. That's a difference of over $5,700 a year.
That's good news. So what are we waiting for?
Call toll-free now and see how you can lower your monthly payments up to 35%. The Smart Choice Loan. It's great for refinancing or for purchasing that new home. You get monthly payment flexibility, so you can decide to pay just interest or make payments to principal whenever you want. Call this toll-free number now or go to quickenloans.com to get started and lower your mortgage payments up to 35%. But don't wait. Take advantage today while rates are still low.
Going for a European Championship.
Зубков Александр, брат Иркутск, Россия. Это моя команда.
Сергей Голубев. Алексей Селиверстов. Дмитрий Степушкин.
Tim Singer and John Morgan back here at San Moritz. 2 sleds remain. Now the Canadians down there have the lead in the World Cup. Standing by closely are the Swiss, who have the lead for the European Championship.
Yeah, the European Championships is a big deal. Before the North Americans got good in the sport in the 80s, it was about, and there's Festistov looking on. There's the Russian sports minister right there watching his countrymen challenge for this European Championship and the World Cup event. I mean, they're so close. They're only 300s off Todd Hayes and crew. And look at that. That's not a bad snake around that curve.
Not a great start time, though.
Yeah, they've just dropped off. They were dominating starts last year when they won the World Cup title in 4-man bob. But this year, since the first part of the year, look at the movement on the runners. That, now I see it, is not very good.
With the success last year by the Russians and their emergence, this sport has become huge in Russia, huge television audience watching.
They're talking about building a track for the 2014 games at Sochi.
Here's the key moment. High in horseshoe. Let's see the split time,
+2
900.
to +9. That's not a good sign. He had a lot of runner movement up there at curve 1, but he still has a chance. He still has enough track left to overcome the deficit, but now it's up to +20. Only chance he's got is 145 kilometers, 88 miles an hour in the speed trap.
No, it's not looking good for a World Cup medal, nor for the European Championship. The Canadians watch.
And the Canadians win at least a silver medal, and the Swiss have just won the European title. That's why they're screaming down there.
Big celebration down in the finish area for Team Switzerland and Martin Onen, the European champions. But the race at hand boils down to 1 sled remaining here in the World Cup. USA sled number 3.
Todd Hayes, Del Rio, Texas, United States. This is my team.
Pavle Jovanovic. Steve Messler. Brock Kreitzberg.
Now they're USA 3 for a funny reason. It's a natural track. You don't want to go early, so he changed places with the USA 3
That's
sled
right.
to
Several
go late.
nations did.
He went like 25th in the first heat, where usually goes in the top 10, and it paid off. He was the leader at the end of the first heat.
And their margin is 12/100ths ahead of the Canadians, and they've had a lot of trouble there, John. That's at least not clean, but the best they've shown all weekend.
Skids all over the place in the exit of 1. Great starts. Look at the difference. 0.6 of a kilometer. At the first 100 meters, that's Annan. And Annan had a great time. So did Lueders.
Like Lueders' Canadian sled, the USA sleds
Whoa.
rocket down at the bottom. 12/100ths now, that's the margin they took in.
But
over
he had,
Lueders.
that mistake, I think, is going to start to show. Into horseshoe, he needs to be perfect. High line, good exit, and it's down to 10. So the exit of horseshoe is going to be the sign. If he has a good exit, the Bodine sled, which is superior in the aerodynamic fast part of the track, but
Down
it's down
to
to 6.
So it's looking good for the Canadians at this point.
But this is where the Bodine sled is superior with aerodynamics. It's still at 6. He stopped the bleeding. 144.8. Closest guy we've seen to the 145 number since his teammate Holcomb.
To the
and he
finish,
does
they've
it.
done it. The United States. Coach Tuffy Latour up at the top, celebrating a victory for his team. Todd Hayes, Pavle Jovanovic, Steve Messler, and Brock Kreitzberg, the winners here in San Moritz.
Aerodynamics, great driving by Todd Hayes. He had a perfect bottom of the track.
We check out the final standings. 400ths separated the American from the Canadian. The Swiss captured the European Championships. A good day as well for Stephen Holcomb, 8th place. When we return, we'll hear from the top winners.
February 10th, NASCAR is back. Speed Weeks on Speed. 10 days, 70 hours, and the most Speed Weeks coverage ever. From a tribute to the legendary Dale Earnhardt to the season opener of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Plus the premiere of the ultimate pre-race show, NASCAR Race Day. It's a 10-day blowout on the eve of the Daytona 500. Speed Weeks on Speed. Coverage cranks up February 10th, 2 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
We make 18 award-winning styles of Samuel Adams. Which is your favorite?
I like the lager the best.
That's still my favorite, too. The cream stout? I like the dark beers.
Sam White is my drink.
Boston Ale. I think that it's the best ale that's out in the market. Black lager.
It's just really smooth. I like the Sam Seasonal, regardless of the season.
Drinks. I didn't know there were 18. I've probably tried 7 or 8, so I got some work to do.
I'm thinking of a number between 450 and 850. Do you know what it is? It's my credit score, and it happens to be 720. The higher my credit score, the better chance I have of saving a lot of money. Do you know your credit score? Do you know what's in your credit report? You can find out right now at freecreditreport.com. You can even print it out if you want to. How much easier could it get? Log on to freecreditreport.com. That's freecreditreport.com.
Free credit report offer applies with enrollment in Triple Advantage.
Kids ready?
Yeah.
Don't worry. Next year it'll be your turn.
The all-new 2007 Chevy Tahoe. With the best combination of power and fuel efficiency in its class and room for up to 9. Nobody gets left behind. Chevy Tahoe, an American revolution.
It's time for Heat on Ice. This is the time to fight the hot
spot. Today's program on Speed is brought to you by Chevrolet, an American Revolution, an official sponsor of the United States Olympic team. Great day in the birthplace of the sport, St. Moritz, Switzerland. Great day for the United States. And with that, let's meet the United States Olympic bobsled team.
Randy Jones. Pavle Jovanovic.
Brock Kreitzberg. Steve Messler. Bill Schiffenhauer.
Lorenzo Smith.
Kurt Tomasevich.
Todd Hayes, Del Rio, Texas, United States.
Steve Holcomb, Park City, Utah, USA.
And one of the members of that U.S. Olympic team going to the games for the first time is Steve Holcomb with a top 10 finish here in the 4-man. How is your team shaping up for the Olympic Games?
It's going pretty well. Today we had the top speed, which is really fantastic. The guys are riding real well. We have fast sled, we have fast runners. I think we have a couple weeks to clean it up, to get in shape, get healthy, and get everybody ready to go. But we have a pretty strong Olympic team, and I'm real excited to go in the games.
Good for Steve Holcomb. Here's our World Cup standings. Todd Hayes, he crashed in Lake Placid, no points. He's second now in points overall with this victory today. Holcomb's now in the 8th position. And now let's go down to Tina Boatman for the interviews.
Congratulations, you did your second, the bronze, silver medal. That after yesterday, you must be happy to be on the podium.
Yeah, we're very happy, but Florian Linder, it's his first World Cup medal, so that's what it's about today, so we're happy for him. That's a great result for him.
Congratulations, thank you. Todd Hayes, yesterday it wasn't a great day for you, so you really wanted to show us today your great run, and now we start the party. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you. I tell you what, my crew here, Brock Kreitzberg, Pavle Jovanovic, Steve Messler, we're huge at the start today. Frank Briglia set up a great sled. I just had to get it down without crashing, and we would win it.
Great run. Thank you. Congratulations.
Well, thanks very much, Tina, and a great showing by the United States. And John, from what we hear, this will be their last race before the Olympics.
They're going to stay here in St. Moritz and test the sleds. Then on to Innsbruck for some more training, but hard to believe. North Americans first and second. I used to come over here for years, and the North Americans would be happy to get 2 sleds in the top 10.
Well, as you see on the graphic, our next show comes next weekend. It's Skeleton from Altenburg, Germany. We hope you'll join us for that one. Till then, thanks very much, John. For John Morgan, Tina Boatman, our producer, Pierre Von Ireland, and all of us here in San Moritz, Switzerland, I'm Tim Singer saying thanks for joining us. See you next time for some more Heat on Ice.
Yeah!